Oh, yeah. How are you, folks? Welcome to the show on a Friday. 833-599-NICK. 833-599-6425 is the phone number if you'd like to join into the chat. And big show today. We got the great Vince Curatola, a.k.a. Johnny Sack from The Sopranos, Skyping in at the bottom of the hour. That's Radio Talk for 6:30. And it was very funny trying to set this up because me and Vince are, Italian dinosaurs, T-Rexy Conionios. And it was just hilarious. And he feels the same way about this tech shit as I do. Keep in mind, it's like doing TV in the 50s. I'm Jack Parr, and he will be, I don't know, who was Fred McMurray? Frederick March. I don't know. Anyways, he'll be joining us at the bottom of the hour. I did Comey a show with him months ago. He's funny. He's a right-winger, very smart guy, an extremely talented actor and singer, by the way. Guys, as a way of thanking you for being loyal listeners, I have a 20% off promo codes for you to use at my at the nickdip.com store from now until Halloween. Facebook listeners use promo code Facebook20. YouTube listeners use promo code YouTube20. And patrons use Patreon20 for 20% off anything in the store. Hats, shirts, CDs, DVDs, and signed CDs or DVDs, tampons, shot glasses, and plastic hips. We now have international shipping to almost everywhere except Cuba and Iran for some reason. Don't care for those fucking countries. And, let's be honest. You ever see a shot of Cuba now? They're still, it looks like The Godfather. They're still driving cars, 1950 Buicks, and the hotels are bigger and swankier. And also, if you're an Amazon Prime member, there is a link there for you to watch my last 3 stand-up specials for free. That's right, for free. Everything's got to go, including my career. We do the show live, every day, as you know.
Okay. We'll do it live.
Okay.
We'll do it live. Fuck it. Do it live.
We are, Bill.
I want all of you to enjoy your cake. So, enjoy.
Everyone here at the Nick DiPaolo Show would like to wish a happy anniversary to Bunny and Aaron, their 10th anniversary, and we'd like to say thank you for all of your hard work, Bunny. She's an integral part of the show. She is the bouncer in the chat rooms, and she does all kinds of stuff. Very good. Technically, she's unbelievable, so we got to thank them. Happy 10th, guys. Quick dates. You can go to nickdip.com for my tour dates. If you're just listening, I'll read them to you. Saturday, October 27th, Lucy's of Pleasantville, New York. Saturday and Sunday, November 2nd and 3rd, Governor's in Levittown, Long Island. Tuesday, November 6th, the Fat Black Pussycat, New York City. Friday, November 9th and Saturday the 10th, Mohegan Sun, Uncasville, Connecticut. Saturday, November 17th, the Comedy Shop, Bud Lake, New Jersey. Friday, November 3rd and Saturday, December 1st, the Corner Comedy Club, Niagara Falls, Ontario, Canada. Monday, New Year's Eve, December 31st, will ring 2019 at the Tarrytown Music Hall in Tarrytown, New York. Saturday, January 12th, Fairfield Theater Company, Fairfield, Connecticut. And Saturday, January 19th, Bobby V's, Windsor Locks, Connecticut. Again, go to nickdip.com for all your ticket information. So, it's Friday, and here we go. You have to let me indulge. Last night, the Red Sox dispensed the defending world champions in Houston, and what a sigh of relief to see them go, because they were scary talented, but not as talented as the 108-win Sox. By the way, Houston won 103 games, and they were the defending champions, and Sox are a fucking steamroller right now. You got Jackie Bradley Jr., who I would have traded 4 months ago, and guys like Vasquez and Devers, 21-year-old Rafael Devers. Here's some highlights from last night real quick.
It's Game 5 of the ALCS. The Red Sox trying to knock off the Astros.
Oh, that's gone.
Third inning, J.D. Martinez hits a home run off Justin Verlander to make it 1-0 Boston. In the sixth, Rafael Devers goes the other way for a 3-run shot, and it's a 4-0 game. David Price locked in on Thursday. The lefty goes 6 scoreless and racks up a playoff career-high 9 strikeouts. In the ninth, it's 4-1, and Craig Kimbrell retires Tony Kemp to end the game and the series. The Red Sox are your 2018 American League champions.
All right, get out! Get out!
Yeah, see ya. That's right, ladies and hey, Boston's title town. I know Green Bay's held that for, when the Packers were good back in 1856. But let me tell you, in the last 20 years, we've been in 9 Super Bowls, 3 World Championships, going on our 4th World Series. Even the Celtics threw in a championship there. The Bruins in 2011. It's the best sports town in the country, bar none. And Jackie Bradley Jr., MVP. The Red Sox are 5-0 this month on the road, I believe. So, yeah, they're a juggernaut, man. Let's just hope it continues. We're either going to get the Dodgers or the Brewers. I don't know how we did against those guys. I believe we played them during the regular season. But speaking of baseball, let's get on to where they get most of their talent, a caravan from Honduras. Right there. There's Altuve's nephew and a couple of others. Anyways, we talked about this yesterday, this caravan from Honduras via Guatemala through Mexico. And guess what? The caravan that was heading for the U.S. turns around in Mexico. They probably got a whiff of Mexico and said, you know what? You think you're going to hold us here? You're crazy. The caravan arrived at the border of the southern Mexico on Thursday, turned around Friday at 11 a.m. local time, about 2 blocks from the border crossing, saying they would wait another hour or so. I don't know what that means. For what? For Trump to bring the military down? Look at that. Again, that's a truck at Home Depot. That's all I'm saying. The disorganized crowd chanted, one way or another, we will pass, and we are not smugglers, we are immigrants. Yeah, well, you don't have any paperwork to prove that. Not to quote the president, but, these third world shitholes don't have it. They don't have any paperwork. I got a note from my grandmother saying I can come in. Anyways, the bridge is being heavily guarded by hundreds of Mexican federal police and Guatemalan police in riot gear, as well as tall metal gates. Oh, gates! You have gates in Mexico? But we're fucking evil for wanting to put up a wall, but you have a gate to keep these people out. Isn't that kind of fucking hypocritical? How do you say a hypocrite in Spanish? El hypocrito? I mean, they get gates, Jason. I mean, for Christ's sakes, Mexico's a gated community.
They're probably rusty, too. It's mean.
Of course. And probably have fucking graffiti all over them, just the way the neighborhoods look here once they're here. Nick, that's racist. Yeah, well, kiss my ass. I don't give a shit. Mexico's ambassador to Guatemala said his country would enforce a policy of metered entry when it came to letting the migrants trickle in. Yeah, at meters as in 4 meters from the United States border. Metered. I don't trust them. But I heard this today that they're going to hold them in Mexico. It's a new thing that Trump the administration came up with a deal. Said holding them in pens where CNN can focus on them and for the next, 19 hours. Going to hold them in Mexico. That'll be enough to make anybody want to go home. So, Alex in Austin, Texas. Alex, what's going on, fella? Maybe if I click on your name and I'll get you on the show. Hey, Alex.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, what's up, brother?
Hey, Nick, longtime fan. Really cool to talk to you. I told your call screener that I wanted to talk about Assad, but the caravan is also interesting because that thing was that picture. So we should just nuke them, right? Like they should just. Didn't the Mexican government send like 700 federales down there in planes and shit?
Yeah. I don't think we should nuke them, but I say rubber bullets, Alex. Rubber, technically.
You're going to rubber bullet them?
Yeah, you rubber bullet them, and that's all. That hurts like a son of a bitch. I get hit with one of those at a frat party, and I turned right around.
A giant net from a fucking helicopter.
Or a
helicopter net him.
I say we build a wall that should look like the Green Monster at Fenway. There should be seats at the top.
Oh, fuck that shit.
Right?
Hey, go Astros and fuck the Red Sox.
Go Astros. You're going the fuck home, bitch. All right, back to the show. All that chatter at the beginning was so he could say that, and I knew that and left him on anyways. That's the kind of host I am. I'm very cordial, as you know. Hey, the thick-ankle dogface, otherwise known as Hillary Clinton, headlines say, chances highly unlikely but not zero that Hillary will run for president again. The thick-ankle dogface just won't go away. She's like the guy in the Halloween movie. He's back, so... A top aide to Hillary Clinton says the former Secretary of State has not ruled out a future bid for president. Of course not. What is she going to do, pretend to bang Bill? Possibly including a 2020 rematch against Trump. Oh, let's pray for that. Let's keep our fingers crossed. Philippe Reines, who served as the senior advisor to Clinton at the State Department, tells Politico in an interview he thinks it's unlikely that Clinton would mount a 2020 bid. But cautioned that it was not an impossibility. It's somewhere between highly unlikely and zero, he tells the interview, but it's not zero. Reines goes on to argue that Clinton remains a viable 2020 candidate due to her support base. That would be her sturdy legs and her giant hippopotamus ankles, pointing to tens of millions of people who voted for her in 2016 presidential election. You know, we call those the useful idiots. Her support, he argues, remains higher than other potential Democratic contenders, including Bernie Sanders and Elizabeth Warren. Elizabeth Warren has 6 people and two Indians, the 1,000th Indian who are behind her. Bernie Sanders has 11 hippies from Brooklyn behind him. He's in his late hundreds. He's a Jew who failed in business and politics, but let's keep our fingers crossed. Chalking the loss up, he says, to her being a failed candidate is an almost oversimplification. He tells Politico, she is smarter than most. Yeah, she proved that, didn't she? She lost to Trump. She's a fucking genius. Tougher than most. Tougher than most female softball players. She could raise money easier than most. Yeah, but her husband's a crook and they have that foundation. After third world countries collapse, they go in to pretend to fix them, like Haiti, and then they walk away with a cashish. And it was an absolute fight to the death. It was the fight to the death? I don't think it was. Trump summed it up beautifully.
She got slunged.
Yes, she got slunged. A recent poll of Democrats' views of top 2020 contenders shows Sanders in second place. He's in second place. Why all the crackling today? Any idea?
The output was a little low, so we're pushing it up, but the crackling's not going out to the viewers.
I know, but it's really fucking irritating me. I'm going to come in there and strangle you. Ahead of Warren betraying Vice President, imagine he's losing to Biden. Clinton, who defeated Sanders in 2016, no, she didn't. It was rigged. If you do have to refresh your memory, she didn't beat him. It was rigged, and I hate him. Beat him in the primary and won the popular vote in the general election. Was not listed on the poll. A former Clinton campaign strategist threw cold water on the likelihood of a 2020 bid. It's a lot of water. For president from the former First Lady earlier this year, calling the prospect a pipe dream. Pipe dream? More like a cigar dream. Ask Monica. What can I get, little buddy, dude? And that's it. So let's hope as Republicans that this fat pig was laying on a couch in Chappaqua right now. She's got an IV in her arm of heavy cream and lasagna, liquid lasagna. Let's hope she runs. Physically, she can't even make it. I mean, we knew she wasn't healthy in the last election. There was subtle stains, like a 6-inch, shit stain in her pantsuit when she's going up the stairs, things like that. And Trump ran circles around her. And I'm glad he would welcome her, or any of them. I mean, Elizabeth Warren, even after this whole Pocahontas DNA thing, they're still considering the 6'8" Elizabeth Warren, or Bernie Sanders, who's going to die within the next 20 minutes, just from looking at him. But, yeah, we welcome all of them. Maybe Ocasio-Cortez can run, too. Let's stay on the politics, shall we? But Hillary, you hang in there. Her husband has to be laughing. I mean, he won 2 terms. And by the way, he used the Electoral College, too. Apparently, they want to change that. They're like little kids. Here's my best analogy of the Democrat Party since Trump got elected. He's making them look silly. That's why they're lashing out and getting violent and attacking people, whether it's at their door, tearing down Trump signs, chasing Ted Cruz and other politicians out of restaurants, all the shit. Antifa, beating up people in MAGA hats. They're lashing out because they're losing the idea of the arena of ideas. And my best analogy, it's like me when I'm playing Monopoly or some board game and I'm losing. I tip the board over. That's what they're doing. They're tipping the board over. They're getting beat at every turn, so let's flip the board. Fuck it. Nobody wins. It's the equivalent of punching a Republican in the head at the mall, you know? Texas is in the news. The Texas Democratic Party is under investigation after being accused of sending out voter registration applications to non-citizens with the citizenship box already checked yes. How's that for dirty pool?
Son of a whore!
The possible violation was first raised Thursday by the Public Interest Legal Foundation, a nonprofit specializing in election integrity, which alerted both state and federal authorities. Following the reports of the alleged violation, Texas Governor Greg Abbott said the issue is being investigated and there will be serious consequences if confirmed. I'd like to believe that, Mr. Abbott. But, you know, since Hillary still isn't in jail and everybody that was involved in the deep state and the whole fake Russia collusion thing, nobody's gone to jail, whether it be McCabe, Comey. So I'd love to believe you. I'm sure you'll investigate it. But that's all the Republicans are good at. They point out where the Democrats are cheating and then nothing happens. I'd like to believe it's Texas, so it might be a little different. You know what you do? You find out who was in charge of this fraud, and you send them to Mexico. Separate them from their families. Pilf said the applications were circulated around the Rio Grande Valley region of South Texas sometime between late September and early October. And some lawfully present non-citizens received the forms. You can't vote, ladies and gentlemen. Even I know this. If you're a non-citizen, you cannot vote in federal elections. Okay? We all know that. The group published all the documents related to the election registration irregularity, including pictures of the applications where boxes asking whether the applicant is both 18 and a U.S. citizen were already checked in the yes field. That's the same application I used to hand out when I was single to girls on the road. Check that, will you? Are you from this country? And but they had the yes field already checked. But the Dems will tell you, we don't need voter ID. That's racist. You're just trying to keep the people down. Apparently, black and brown people can't make it to the DMV, even though all their relatives work there. I mean, for the love of Christ, are you dog styling me? 833-599-6425, 833-599-6425. I know from previous work experience that it is a crime to register to vote in Texas if you are a felon with an incomplete sentence or a non-U.S. citizen. I also understand that a non-U.S. citizen can face criminal and immigration jeopardy for misrepresenting citizenship status for the purpose of voter registration, Kafuri said. Well, why don't you tell California that? They're signing up everybody and anybody. Illegals, I don't get it. They have their own system in Cali, apparently. And now the shit's going on in Texas. Again, it's about the brown vote because the Dems see that as the future, which it probably is, of the country, and they want to secure their power base for the next 100 years, and they will do anything to do so, including fraud like this in Texas, where they're checking off the non-citizen box, already checked citizen. And thank God somebody's paying attention. It happened in Virginia in the last election, Pennsylvania, Wisconsin, and it's the fucking dirty Dems. They're just creepy. Let me take a sip of my A&W root beer and Bacardi. It keeps me high yet slim. You believe this shit? This is going on in the US of A. The Democrats, if they're not punching you in the face and chasing you out of restaurants and assaulting you. By the way, George Soros is behind a lot of that. I was watching TV last night. And you get that guy Gillum running against DeSantos in Florida. And Gillum, he's for abolishing ICE. He said he'd impeach Trump. And right on TV, he thanks Soros and a couple of other, Tom Steyer, a couple other filthy rich billionaires who, by the way, say they represent the middle class. That's what they're looking. What a crock of shit. Fucking liars, each and every one of them. So Texas, keep an eye on that. 833-599-6425. 833-599-6425. Okay. Let me just do this one other story. Go ahead. You can get them on one. But here's some collusion. But it's not the collusion you think. This was from a couple days ago. I mentioned it. I teased it. Natalie Mayflower Sowers Edwards. That's her name. Sowers Edwards. Senior official at the Treasury Department's Financial Crimes Enforcement Network, is accused of leaking confidential banking reports of suspects charged in Special Counsel Robert Mueller's investigation. The Treasury Department employee charged Wednesday with leaking confidential financial files related to former Trump associates had a co-conspirator at the department who has also exchanged several hundred messages with journalists, according to the criminal complaint. Okay? More evidence that they were trying to take down Trump. The court papers do not name the higher-ranking co-conspirator who has not been charged, but the complaint referred to the person as an associate director, that's in quotes, at the department's Financial Crimes Enforcement Network, otherwise known as FinCEN, to whom defendant Natalie Mayflower Sowers Edwards reported. She should be fired just because of her name. The complaint states that this co-conspirator, not named as a defendant, exchanged more than 300 messages with a reporter through an encrypted application. Edwards, 40, as a senior official at FinCEN, is accused of illegally giving a reporter bank reports documenting several suspicious financial transactions known as Suspicious Activity Reports, SARS, which was also a disease I had in high school. I kicked it with a couple Advil PM. From October 2017 until the present. You believe this, Brad? Huh? Do you believe this shit? I do. More collusion.
Fucking bitch.
The documents said Edwards initially denied having contact with the members of the media, though told the FBI she was aware that the financial transactions involved Trump campaign Paul Manafort chief, campaign official Richard Gates, and accused Russian agent Maria Butina and the Russian embassy federal law enforcement official said Wednesday. Prosecutors said Edwards saved thousands of SARS along with thousands of other files containing sensitive government information to a government-provided flash drive. You believe this shit? She won't go to jail either. The files were allegedly saved to a folder on the flash drive with the file path debacle/emails, get this, /asshat. Edwards is not known to be involved in any official FinCEN project or task bearing these titles or code names. That's how they know she's full of shit. The flash drive contained not only SARS, but also highly sensitive material relating to Russia, Iran, and the terrorist group known as the Islamic State of Iraq and the Levant. During her interviews with the FBI agent, Edwards initially, listen to this, denied any contact with the news media, called herself a whistleblower who saved the SARS for record keeping. You have to be shitting me.
Sisters, cunt!
The most recent, the paper she talked to was BuzzFeed. There was a dozen stories in BuzzFeed over the past year and a half, including an article headlined, GOP operative made suspicious cash withdrawals during pursuit of Clinton emails. Another article was titled, These 13 Wire Transfers Are a Focus of the FBI into Paul Manafort. The most recent BuzzFeed article cited in the charging documents was published on Monday. This is incredible. The case is apparently the first criminal prosecution arising from leaks about individuals targeted by Special Counsel Robert Mueller's team in the course of its Russia investigation. She was released to her parents. What is she, 6? She and her parents also signed a $100,000 bond as part of her release. Edwards appeared in court wearing street clothes, no bra, no titties. Faces 2 charges, unlawful disclosure and 1 for conspiring to unlawfully disclose. Each carrying a maximum sentence of 5 years and a $250,000 fine. She's due back in court November 2nd. More evidence. She works for the Treasury Department. She was leaking shit to one of her higher ups who was leaking it to journalists, which you can't do. It's against the goddamn law. Even I know that. So absolutely ridiculous. More cheating. And I look at all the news sites if you think I'm being biased here, okay? So I want to see some evidence of Republicans doing this stuff. That's all I'm saying. We got Vince on the line? Ladies and gentlemen, it's my pleasure right now. He's going to be our first Skype guest in the history of this show. I'm such a huge fan, and obviously you know him from a lot of stuff. His most famous role, Johnny Sack on The Sopranos. But he's been in movies, it's Patriots Day, Blacklist, Blue Bloods, Killing Them Softly, the show Good Wife, Person of Interest, many Law and Order episodes, Monk. He's also a jazz guitarist. Jesus, he's a real Renaissance man, Vince, huh? And performs in and around Manhattan. You know why he performs locally? Which we already have something in common. Not that he doesn't fly. I don't fly either. I was born with legs and two shitty shoulders. Please welcome to the show the great Vince Caratola.
Hi, Nick. How are you?
Vince, look at you. You look.
Look at me.
Skype makes everybody look like they're 106. You notice?
You're giving me a compliment now.
We both look like we're in the waiting room at some fucking hospital.
God's waiting room, yeah.
God's waiting. Yes, Miami is what we're talking about.
Miami.
Vince, I'll tell you, it really is. It's a pleasure to have you on.
Thanks.
I last time I saw you was Comia's show. And I couldn't believe how funny you were. I didn't, it must be that New Jersey guinea in you.
Yeah, it's New Jersey water.
I'm going to show.
I have a well.
I got a well, too.
What?
I got a well, too.
Good.
I
hear you.
It's gross.
No.
We're going to show. Look, I know you're probably sick of talking about The Sopranos, but this show is very Sopranos-oriented. And
I got you.
And we're going to show one of my favorite clips of you. This is the scene when Johnny Sack's wife got insulted by Ralph Cifaretto. He goes to have a sit-down with Carmine because he wants our... You still got him? Okay, I can't see him. This is when he has a sit-down, and he's defending his wife's honor because Ralph Cifaretto made a joke about his wife, and he wants Ralph whack. Let's take a look at that clip, if we can.
She was having a 90-pound mole removed from her ass. The implication was that her ass is so big she could have a mole that size removed from it.
It's an off-colored remark. It's highly inappropriate.
It's the funniest thing.
You want? I'll demand he's taxed. But clip him?
Is it all just about money?
I'll crack him good. I'll ask for 200 grand.
200 grand for insulting my wife. What's next, Carmine? You get the fucker for $1 million?
He wants the fucker?
I'm making a point. I'm talking about my wife's honor here. My honor.
Vince, you don't know how many times I've used that line, whether it's my friends. You get the fucker for $1 million? Who? Vince, let me...
That was a lot. $1 million was a lot, Nick.
Yeah, absolutely. Right? I mean,
that's Sophia Loren.
Let me ask you this. I want you to, real quick, because you've told this story in interviews, because I still go on, I still go on auditions, and you told the story about when you auditioned for this.
Yeah.
And what you did differently than the other actors. Can you tell the people?
Yeah. Well, first of all, I didn't want to go to the audition at all, Nick.
Yeah.
I was working on an NBC movie of the week with Chris Bell in Staten Island. And this is the third time my agent called and said, you really should go read for this part. Nah. I finally went. It was on West 79th Street. I get out of the cab. I'm late. Smoked a cigarette. Now I'm even more late. Finally, I walk upstairs. There's one woman left in the room. She's behind the desk. She's got like 4,500 8x10s on the desk. She says to me, without looking up, "You're late." I said, "Okay, I'll go home. No problem. Thank you. I'll leave." She looks up. She says, "No, wait, sit down." She said, "Do you have the sides that they sent you?" I said, "Yeah, I have them." She said, "Come on, we'll read the scene." So we read the scene. She said, "All right, it was a Thursday." She said, "I want you to come back Monday at Silver Cup, and I want you to meet some people." So I went back, and that's my callback. So there's about, I don't know how many guys in the waiting room, and I know they were called back for the same part,
right?
Johnny Sack, which, by the way, was only supposed to be a one-episode character. Anyway, I'm in the waiting room, and I hear these guys saying the same dialogue that I have in my hands, but they're screaming. blah, 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 hash this, Tony that, Uncle Junior, blah, blah. So I said to myself, okay, I got it. So when I got into the room, it was my time. I sat down. They said, are you ready? I said, yeah. I whispered the entire dialogue. I just whispered it. Because I felt if you have any power, you only have to say something once, and you could say it in a very low tone. And I think that was it. So I just went against the herd, in other words.
It's so funny in that you said no to the audition that many times. Is there
Yeah.
Vince, is there anything worse than fucking auditioning?
No, I think it's diabolical, actually. I mean, I think if you go in, they want to see you for something, and they just want to talk to you a little bit, see if you have the essence of whatever character it is that you're in for. That's fine, because I know how to memorize. I know how to read. It's not a big deal.
Right.
So in other words, you want me to give it back to you the way it's written on the paper. It doesn't always work.
Right.
So I think that, and then when you get to a certain point, when you're able to say to your agent, or your agent even says to you, listen, this is not for you. Let them make an offer if they're interested. Otherwise, goodbye and good luck. So lately, it's been happening to me. I'm appreciative.
Well, I would think so, because Jesus, I mean, Gandolfini, as great as he was, had nothing on you. I watched every episode 100 times.
Oh, man, God, thank you.
Hey, let me ask you this real quick before we move on to politics. Do you remember you and I acted together?
Yes. Wait a minute. Hold on. The episode with when you were on our show.
Not even on The Sopranos. This was a live thing. Steve Sharippa hosted this thing called Wise Guys.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And we did a quick sketch. We wrote it beforehand. You were a comedy club owner.
That's right. It was hysterical.
And I was a comic, and I was bitching that you weren't paying me enough money. And
that's right.
I was so nervous working with you. This was at the height of The Sopranos. I was so nervous that I went from 0 to 100 in the scene, and I'm like, fuck you, but I left you with nothing.
I remember it.
Yes.
Leave it to Stevie. He can conjure up anything.
That was such a thrill for me. That was in the heyday.
It was a good night. Yeah, I remember.
My God. So let me ask you this: you grew up in Jersey, so how did you end up Republican in such a blue state?
When I was growing up, it was all Republican in New Jersey. I grew up in Englewood, New Jersey, which is a gorgeous town. I had a wild paper route, Nick. My block that I lived on, I delivered papers to Sarah Vaughan, Dizzy Gillespie, Tony Bennett, Jerry Vale, part of the Isley family.
Oh, my God.
Part of the Wrigley family, believe it or not. So show business kind of like seeped in. Leslie Gore, a lot of people. Andre Previn. And it was a very conservative state at the time. And I'm going back to the 60s, obviously. So as far as why am I, how did I become, I'll stay Republican if I live to be 2,000 years old. I don't believe in giveaways. I don't believe in, let me take some money out of your pocket so I could give it to some schmo who sits around all day in his pajamas and eats Cheerios. No, man, it's not going to happen. I made that money. I'll give you what I think you need for what you prescribe, but let's not go overboard. Because, the mafia knows damn well you never kill the golden goose. Because then you can't milk him anymore.
That's exactly right.
Can't milk him anymore. You don't have a client anymore if you destroy this guy financially.
That is a great, great point. Do you find in this business, because you're very famous because of The Sopranos, were you out there with your politics during The Sopranos? I mean, there's no way of knowing. People always ask me this. Well, does it cost you jobs in this business? Because it's a left-wing business, show business.
How would we know?
How would we know, right?
We would never know. Like some producer's going to call you and say, you know what? I was going to give you a starring role in that movie, but you're all the way to the right. So they don't send you a memo. So how would you know?
The only way I know once is because I had an Applebee's commercial. They wanted me for this thing. They wanted me to fly to Atlanta for a day and do a commercial with Chip Carey, who is the announcer for the Braves, and somebody else for Applebee's, right? And it's a go. It's a go. For 2 days, I think I'm going down there. At the 11th hour, I get a call from my agent. They went online, and they saw me at a roast, Comedy Central roast, saying horrendous shit, or they heard me on Howard Stern, and they fucking axed me.
No, ridiculous. No. See, it works in reverse, doesn't it? It works in reverse because if anyone would have had that stance back in the 60s, 70s, whatever, they would be ostracized for not being patriotic. Would they not? But you know what I believe, and I firmly believe, and I'll say this publicly to any A-list Hollywood left-wing liberal actor, get over yourself. Because you know what? While you're laying out by your pool in Beverly Hills, you don't see any bombs coming over your head, do you? No, because the other side, the conservative side, says, no, we need a strong defense in the United States of America.
Yeah.
You have them to thank for your freedom.
And those people floating around in their pools in Hollywood have what around their houses? Gates and walls.
Oh, yes, absolutely.
Protected by guns.
Yeah, protected by guns is right. That's correct.
So what you're telling me, Vince, is you don't take your political cues from Alyssa Milano? Fuck.
You know, I think that girl saves a lot of money in publicists every month because she goes out there and does the stuff herself.
I know.
You're gonna be saving $5,000 a month, right?
I know. And she's, good looking, but dumb as a fucking rock. Sorry.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
What do you think? Okay, midterms. Do you think all this Kavanaugh shit that went on, which I thought was absolutely ridiculous?
It was ridiculous.
So,
yeah,
do you think it's going to galvanize? Because we keep hearing about this blue wave for the last 3 months. Do you think it's going to galvanize the right, and the Republicans are going to hold on to that? What's going to happen in the midterms?
You know, Nick, I've never seen such a band of such a band of sore losers. Can you imagine if Hillary had won? This would be a very quiet country right now.
God.
We'd be on our way to being broke,
right?
But we'd be very quiet. So with regard to the midterms, I think the people who have brains in their heads, and I do believe that that's most Americans, are going to say things are tremendously different than they were under the failure of Obama.
Right.
And that we should continue that line because nobody can complain about their 401ks right now. Nobody can complain that they can't find a job. And when you go to that, I started my business 1974. I was, 19. I put a little ad in the paper. I fixed steps. I fixed sidewalks. I fixed retaining walls. And it became something. I went to college, but it bored me. I wanted to be in business.
Right.
You can get a guy with a squeegee. He'll make $100,000 in a year if he works. So and that's another thing, Nick. You see these guys out, these people that are out 10 o'clock on the Sunday night at 11 o'clock, and they're protesting, but they don't have to get up Monday morning.
I know.
Period. There's nowhere they have to be. They go to the post office, they grab that check or whatever. Done. You know, it used to be called relief back in the days of the Depression. You were going to get some relief. But this is a totally, it's a dynasty now of welfare. It's generational.
How did Jersey turn so blue back in the 60s?
You know, Nick, that's a really good question. It really did begin locally in towns and counties. And I think that, well, the obvious thing is the more people you come in who are dependent, the more votes you're going to have for Democrats, including the people who have been buried under the ground for the last 100 years. They vote too in Democratic candidates. Period. They do.
The story I just did in Texas, did you hear what I don't know if you were listening. They're sending out ballots to non-citizens with the box already checked citizen.
Yes. You see?
I mean, what the fuck?
You're against federal law. The other federal law is you're supposed to pay income tax. But that one we're not going to talk about, right? Let's just talk about bringing everybody in to vote. You know, do you have a pulse? Yeah. Oh, you can vote for me then, because I'm going to get you an apartment and I'm going to get you groceries. I'm tired of it.
Yeah.
You know, my family came here. My father and his 4 brothers. They had to be sponsored by a tradesman in New Jersey, and they all became bricklayers. One a fine furniture maker. You had to have an apprenticeship, otherwise. We don't want you. You're not coming. Forget it.
Right.
You had to bring something here, and you didn't bring the flu here. You had to bring something with you.
I used to have a joke about it. It was like a party. We invited everybody from all over the world to the party. I said the Polish brought the sausage, the Japanese brought the sound system, and the Mexicans said, "Fuck it, we'll clean up afterwards." But I had a whole bit on it. I can't even remember it. Before I let you go, a couple more things. What's the mob violence? Since you played a mobster, what do you think of this chasing people out of restaurants and getting up in their face? And I mean, people are literally getting sucker punched for wearing a MAGA hat. I mean,
exactly.
What's what's your advice to people on the right? I mean, I always believe fight fire with fire. You can't sit there and take it, but what's your advice?
Well, first of all, the people who are innocent and go into a restaurant in D.C., Cruz and his wife,
Right.
whether you agree with them, you don't agree with them, whatever it is, I blame the restaurant, number one. I'm sorry.
I saw
should
you.
have gotten grabbed a couple of guys or get on the phone. You know why, Nick? Everybody knows somebody.
Right.
Listen, get over here now.
Right.
Help me out,
Right.
okay? They didn't do that.
No.
Which tells me that they were more interested in those skells that had $11 in their pocket, if they were lucky, those people.
Right.
All right? Up against a man like him who came in to have a meal, going to pay you $350, $400, whatever that tab's going to be.
Right.
All right?
Right.
It's disgusting. They have this. I said it. They're such sore losers that, well, Soros got a big checkbook. He keeps paying these people. They're paid.
Oh, absolutely. But the ones that chased Cruz and his wife out of the restaurant weren't paid. They were actually working. They were working for They were staff members of some politician, some Democrat.
Well, there we go. But you know something? Those are the cases where prosecution should be imminent.
Right.
That's harassment.
Right.
And if you touch somebody, it's battery.
That's
if
right.
it was me, that happened to me,
oh yeah,
I would own every one of this guy's restaurants. It would only take me a week. Trust me, I would do it.
I know. We have we have a chat room. Somebody want to ask you a question, Vince? Fellas?
Yeah, Carl McCool says, "Hey Nick, ask Vincent if he's still selling real estate. His license is hung at my company's Remax in North Bergen."
One of our chat room members wants to know if you're still selling real estate. Vince.
No, I had to park my license somewhere. I buy and sell for my own purposes.
Ah, he does it for his own purposes. So there you go. The guy has his sign hanging in his office?
Yeah.
The Remax.
They should take it down already.
The Remax thing. All right, real quickly. I know you're a singer, and I should have pulled some clips of that real quick. Let me ask you, as a Jersey Gindalone, Sinatra or Dean Martin, who's got the better voice, Vince?
Sinatra.
Yeah.
But the best of all in my book was Elvis Presley.
Is that right?
Then my book, yeah. The tone, you can't suppress it.
You put him ahead of Mike Nesmith of the Monkees?
Yeah, well, it's close, Nick, but I got to be fair to Elvis.
Do you, Vince, you have any gigs you want to plug? Because I know you sing around
I do.
Manhattan. Go ahead.
November 2nd,
Yeah.
Friday night, I'm doing 2 shows at a fabulous jazz club called Maureen's Jazz in Nyack. It'll be my 3rd or 4th show there. It's a very hot jazz club. I'm doing 2 shows, and I love being there. I have a 5-piece jazz band, and they're hot. So,
guy is multi-talented. Plays.
And you're more than welcome. You and your wife. You let me know if you want to be. I know it's a schlep for you, but you be my guest.
Hey, if I'm free, I would absolutely love it.
Be my guest. If they want to know more, they can follow me at Vincent Curatola.
At Vincent Curatola, and you also have his website, vincentcuratola.com. Just give me one. Just give me one of these. I want you to give me the creeps on this petty pace.
I'm sorry.
Creeps on this petty pace. From the Sopranos.
The creeps on this petty pace. Tomorrow I got to go into work. And I got to just deal with that disgusting idiot fucking cocksucker. Okay, Tony?
Bingo. Vince, I can't thank you enough for doing this.
You're a talented, funny, intelligent guy, Nick. God bless you.
And you're welcome anytime here. So we'll talk. We'll talk to you soon. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Nick.
All right, Vince.
Good night.
Bye.
Thanks. Bye.
There you go, folks. Nice going in the booth, by the way, fellas. Priscilla, well done, everybody. Because me and Vince, we're not technology-wise. I saw a transistor radio behind him like I have over here. And again, I know all you fans of mine, 99% of you huge Sopranos fans. I don't have to tell you. Except for the Twinks, they were just a little young. Jason, what year were you born?
93.
So you were...
94.
So Ryan was 5 when the first Sopranos came.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, it's worth your while. Best acting, best writing you'll ever see. And he is something else.
Well, I got plenty of time on the weekend, so.
Do you? What happened to your girlfriend, Emily?
Are you familiar with the friend zone?
Already? Jesus Christ. Well, get back on the mic. I gotta.
I operate fast, I guess.
You took her to a movie and she's throwing you in the friend zone. Well, what did you take her to see? If fucking Stallone action?
One of those Marvel movies. I guess that's where I went wrong.
What are we seeing? The Green Hornet. Shut your mouth, bitch. You're in the friend zone. Did I ever tell you? Listen to this. You're like my first date in high school. I was in love with this girl. Took her to see Paradise Alley, which is a Stallone movie. I think it came out before Rocky or right after. I can't remember. Point being, took her to the movie. The movie's over. Get in the car, backing up in the parking lot, and I back into somebody. I had my license for like 3 weeks. Crease this guy's door. He's yelling at me and shit. Okay, we exchange papers. That takes a half hour. Get in the car, pulling out of the parking lot. A guy comes around the corner at 70 miles an hour in a mall, I pull out, misses my front of my car by an inch, leans on the horn at me. I leave the mall. I look in the rearview mirror. He's in the rearview mirror chasing me now. Now, this is my first date with this girl. I pull over. The guy pulls over, gets out. Luckily, greasy long hair with a leather jacket, like 6'3", about 110 pounds. And I dumped him on his head and sat on his chest, and I fucking pounded him. 2 other people pulled over, like my dad's age, and pulled me off the guy. This is a first date. My date's sitting in the car going, this is fucking... Just had an accident and getting a fist fight. Now, if I'm a girl, that would make me excited. But I dated about another year and a half. Anyways, sorry to hear you in the friend zone. What are you going to do? Let's move on to Twitter, shall we, kids? Let's move on to Twitter. They have a problem in the name of Louis Farrakhan. You guys hear about this? By the way, I'm being shadow banned again. After I did Crowder, I added about 700 followers on Twitter. I don't know if that's directly related. I'm guessing so. And it hit a wall 2 days ago. And I wake up, and then last night I lost about 50. I wake up, there's another 50 followers gone. I've dropped about 100 in a day for no reason. When I used to not post on Twitter, I would add people anyways. So it's so obviously they're fucking with my head. I swear to God, they have one person assigned to me to bust my balls. But apparently saying Jews are termites isn't offensive, at least not offensive enough for Twitter to ban Louis Farrakhan for it. The Nation of Islam leader's history of blatant anti-Semitism goes back decades. Twitter's even tutted him for it in the past. Back in July, it took away his verified status for tweeting about the satanic Jews in the synagogue of Satan. Yet Farrakhan finds the issue funny. He joked about it in a video clip he tweeted on Wednesday. Here's the video of Farrakhan not getting in trouble on Twitter for saying this.
So when they talk about Farrakhan, call me a hater, you know what they do? Call me an anti-Semite.
He don't age, does he?
Stop it. I'm anti-termite.
Wow. Anti-termite. Calling Jewish people termites. And Twitter doesn't have a problem with that. I asked Barbara Streisand to die in her sleep, and they booted me for a day. Anti-termite. Oh, my goodness gracious. Here's some more Farrakhan. If you don't believe he's a, he says he's not an anti-Semite, well, here's some more of them.
The satanic Jews, they control everything and mostly everybody.
That is not true, unless you're talking about Hollywood. Now, listen, ladies and gentlemen. That was a joke. 833-599-6425. How do you explain that he's not in trouble for that? Maybe he will be eventually, but the double standard, the message. Let's say Twitter knowingly is not putting the lock on him on Twitter. So they're just saying it's, anybody who's anti-American, anti-Jewish. Those are the real far lefties that hate Israel and the Jews. There's actually Jewish people who are against Israel and what they're doing. That's how far left this country is fucked, is my point. I'm not anti-Semite. I'm an anti-termite. I'm not anti-greaseball, just anti-Italian. That guy hasn't aged. The devil doesn't age anyways, does he? Let's go to Riley in Missouri. He's got dating advice for Jason. Hey, Riley, tell Jason what he should be doing.
Hey, Nick, been a huge fan for a long time, man.
Thank you, sir.
Well, here's what you need to do. Young guys aren't getting their fill of crazy broads. You're not learning how to recognize that. And you just got to do what I used to do. I'm not a handsome man, but I made all my mistakes. You get next to a crazy girl. You find out what cologne her dad used to wear. Spritz that on, and you're in.
Wait a minute. That's actually brilliant, because every girl has a daddy. Holy shit, Jason.
Oh, yeah.
Jason, we have to get you a bottle of Canoe or a bottle of Old Spice. Oh, my God.
Yeah, Jovan Musk.
That's funny, the age difference. I used to wear, what was that one everybody? Oh, I used to wear Drakkar in the 80s. I think the brothers still wear it.
Oh, yeah.
Remember Drakkar, Riley?
Yeah, that shit won't come out of your curtains for years.
That is hilarious. Wear her dad's, might as well dress up like her dad. Get pictures of her dad online. Put on the same fucking suit. And put on a fucking pair of wingtips, and then spank her on the first date. That
works every time, I got to say.
That's funny and creepy at the same time, Riley. But we thank you.
Oh, yeah.
We thanks for the advice.
You do what you got to do.
All right, brother.
All right. We'll
See
ya.
ya. Oh, my God. Put on her fucking dad's cologne. Isn't that funny that dad, I guess, the mom-son thing, there's some of that. You have this Oedipus complex.
Yeah, the other one's the Electra complex.
Electra? How's that work, Jace?
Oh, it's the Oedipus complex, but just the other way around.
Oh, it's the other way around?
Yeah.
Remember Tony Soprano saying to Dr. Malfi, I don't want to fuck my mother. That's disgusting. The Electra complex, huh? I don't even know if that was around when I was in school. I mean, if I was one of Trump's kids, I might have a Oedipus complex. Biting on my mother's fake titties. Let's go to Zach in Pittsburgh. Zach, what's going on, fella?
Hey, I'll tell you right now, I can't top that previous call. So.
Oh, that was funny, wasn't it?
That was great, man. That had me laughing out loud. But I tell you what, though, you know what? I thought you could never top that Bo Dietl interview.
Yeah.
But man, Johnny Sack, did he deliver?
He is. He's a smart guy. He sits on the foundation of, I didn't write it down, of some hospital, some major hospital in New Jersey. He's a smart dude, and I thought it was interesting because New Jersey is bluer than my balls as far as politics go. It has been the whole time I've been in the New York area, and it was interesting to hear that it wasn't always like that, and it just shows to me the power of the media, and until we pull that blowhorn away from the Democrats. But yeah, he's a talented guy, and I am going to go see him. I want to go see him sing live. I saw him. We did a thing in Vegas together. Me, Michael Imperioli, Steve Sciarippa was the MC in Imperioli, and it was called Wise Guys, where he sang. I did see him sing then, and I got to do some stand-up, a couple of stand-ups. We did comedy. It was so good because I hung out with John. I hung out with Vince after the show, and I had never met him before, and we sat next to each other. And I went up to him. I said, "You are a monster," meaning it was a compliment as far as I meant, how his character. And his eyes got big, and he got this serious look on his face. He thought I was somebody in the audience that didn't like what he was doing. And then we sat there smoking cigarettes and bad mouthing people as they walked by, and it was like hanging out with a buddy of mine. So he's a smart guy. He's funny, and I love his politics. So I'm glad you enjoyed it, Zach.
I tell you what, Nick, New Jersey's a lot like Pennsylvania because they say there's Pittsburgh and Philly, and the rest of the state is Kentucky. Yeah. I got some good friends. I do some shows and podcasts in Jersey. I'm going to be out there in a couple months, and actually, there's two great amateur comics out there every Monday night. It's called the Uncomfortably Funny Podcast. Dave Hoge, Army veteran, Anthony Innes, a Navy vet. He's opened up for Artie and Jim Florentine, among others. And they're one of us. They're just patriots, blue collar, conservative, libertarians.
Yeah.
And I tell you what, I was shocked when I started going out to Jersey. You basically got Newark, and then you got Trenton. But I fucking love Jersey, man. It's just, for me, it's almost like being home. It's just, you get out of those two little centralized areas, and it's just man's man, blue collar, good time, hardworking people. So don't. And I just saw a poll that the Republican is possibly 1 or 2 points up above that corruptment index.
Yes.
So you might be able to not. I think Jersey. I know because I've been there a lot. Jersey's are like Pennsylvania. It's not totally blue.
Right. It's not totally, but small pockets of resistance.
Enough.
Yeah, just enough. Hey, Zach, thanks for the call, buddy. Talk to you soon. Hey, guys, can we turn this? I don't know. Let's see what happens if we turn my mic, my headset down a little. I don't know if it's still going to crack. Test one right there. Stop right there. Yeah, that's all right. We'll have to ask, Jay about that because it's not the level. It's still crackling, but at least I'm not making myself deaf. Hey, here we go. More crazy feminism. It's really, I think it might be a wire problem. We have to get Jay on the line. Excuse me.
It's actually what we were just saying too. So.
All right. It's getting worse. Anyways, Kleenex to rebrand man-sized tissues after gender complaints. Well, of course they are. Did I tell you how fucking nuts the feminist movement? Kleenex maker Kimberly Clark, that's the name of the company. She doesn't make the Kleenex herself in her basement. Says it will rebrand its man-sized tissues after consumers complain the name. Buy that for a second. I bet you 4 broads called up, and that's all it took. They're going to rebrand it because man size is sexist. You believe this?
You can act like a man. What's the matter with you?
The company says that following a consistent increase of complaints on gender concern, I don't buy that for the fucking life of me. All the people that use Kleenex, what is it, 1/1000th people complain. The product will now be called Kleenex Extra Large. Packages for the tissues describe them as confidently strong and comfortably soft. Kimberly Clark tells, oh my God, it's getting worse, huh, guys? I mean, every word out of my mouth is crackling. Hey, what did you do? That just fixed it. What did you do? You mark it.
We changed your volume, and we also changed the compressor setting at the same time.
Well,
and that
there
just
you
fixed
go.
it.
It's the fucking compressor, because the minute we put the compressor in, this started. It was the compressor. Put a mark there so we can, whatever. Kimberly Clark tells Britain's Telegraph on Thursday that is no way suggests that being both soft and strong was an exclusively masculine trait. Nor do we believe, that's what guys want to be thought of, is soft. An exclusively masculine trait. Nor do we believe that the man-sized branding suggests or endorses gender inequality. Nevertheless, as we remain committed to developing, they should be saying, nevertheless, we're as spineless as anybody else when it comes to this shit. We remain committed to developing the best possible products for our consumers and take any feedback extremely seriously. We decide to renovate our current product and update the product sub-brand as Kleenex Extra Large. Oh, do you feminists ever stop your fucking whining?
My vagina's angry. It is. It's pissed off.
Thank you.
Imagine having that kind of time to call in and complain about. Seriously, think about whoever called in, how they got to that point psychologically. Just hammering over and over again. I saw a commercial, folks. It was for the cleanup after the big hurricane in Florida, Michael. I saw a commercial the other night. Only I would pick up on this. And it said at the end of the commercial, it's people helping other people that got hurt in the hurricane, helping them rebuild their house. It said because human nature is stronger than, and it should have said Mother Nature, but it just said nature. When you talk about hurricanes, don't you talk about Mother Nature? It said human nature is stronger than nature, because if they said Mother Nature, that would have a couple of negative connotations. First of all, a female was responsible for all the damage. And second, something was stronger than Mother Nature. They would never, I'm telling you, you think I'm fucking paranoid. That's the level that they monitor this shit. It's about changing people's behavior. That's what political correctness is, through language. And nobody is more fucking nuts than the feminist movement. And when people complain about political correctness and how sensitive the world has become, I keep saying this, more feminized. Yes, guys have bought into it. Politicians buy into it because it gets them votes. But to be sensitive is not a male character. That's not in our DNA. I mean, you're always bad-mouthing us for being insensitive assholes. So, you know, it's fucking unbelievable. Let's go to Luke in California, buddy Luke. Luke, what's happening?
What's going on, Nick?
Not
How
too
you doing?
much. What's happening?
This is probably going to be the first time we agree. One thing I hate about these feminists, because, I mean, come on. Kleenex, really? Talking about man-sized Kleenex. One thing that they do, they try to equate, you know, their struggle with, back then it was Martin Luther King and now it's this. It's like, why y'all try to lynch on to the black? You guys aren't going through what we go through. Quit trying to equate the two. That's one thing that bothers me.
You're absolutely right, Luke. What they did was they grabbed onto the coattails of the civil rights movement. That's what they did. And they used the same playbook, but like you said, blacks, it was legitimate grief after what they went through, you know, years and years of oppression. And you're right, they try to and the gays do it too. I used to do a bit, you know, gay people say it's just like, you know, they're just like slaves and stuff. And I used to do a joke saying that, well, you can't compare a gay guy and a slave. You put a black guy in chains and whip him, that's slavery. You put a gay guy in chains and whip him, it's a Tuesday night in San Francisco. And, you know, so yeah, you're absolutely right. They use the same playbook as the civil rights movement. And it really is. They're out of their fucking mind.
Who was that broad the other day that tweeted feminists are the new N-word, like, or females are the new N-word?
Oh,
what?
God. I don't know.
What does that even mean?
I didn't even see that.
It was some actress, some goofy old white bitch. And then, you know, she had to apologize for it. But it's just, why? Yeah. Why can't y'all have your own movement? Why does everything, like you said, the gays, the feminists, it's always equated to, well, the blacks. It's get your own shit. Get your own word. Why does it all gotta be the N-word?
Patrice I just heard Patrice on the radio, and it was something like that. He was talking to a Hispanic guy, and he said just that. He goes, "Fuck that. We got our own problems. Don't try to jump on our coat." It was something referring to what you just said. But hey, good hearing from you, Luke. Man, I got a couple more calls here, but talk to you soon.
And Nick, I just wanted to say one thing.
Yeah.
We would agree with y'all, the right side. If you would just reach out, just reach out a little bit to us. You know, make it seem, act like you care a little bit, and we might listen to y'all on the right.
You got to be shitting me. Why don't you check the unemployment statistics since Trump became president, and why don't you check the number of black people in George W. Bush's administration as opposed to Obama? And
I'm talking about your rhetoric.
All right,
okay.
I got to go. He had to get in there. We had a nice conversation, but he couldn't. You sound like a feminist, Luke. You're fucking never happy now. We do reach out. Fucking 4 million people off welfare. That's doing something, but your party looks at it as being racist, and then your people fucking vote that way. We've reached out enough. You're either with us or you're against us. Trump's done more for black people than fucking Obama. Both Bill Clinton terms. Anyways. Finally tonight on Meet the Press, let's talk about crazy white bitches. Kristen Bell, she's an actress, I guess, says Snow White kiss sends controversial message about consent. Okay.
Uh-oh, retard alert. Retard alert.
The 38-year-old actress and mom of Lincoln 5 and Delta, those are her kids named after a car and a plane. That sounds like when the cops go, license plate Lincoln 5 Delta 46. Told Parents Magazine she had a serious conversation with her kids about the infamous kissing scene in Snow White. I don't know enough about Snow White because I was a weird little kid. I liked sports and girls and trucks. So I don't know the Snow White story. Is she dead? I thought my wife said Snow White's dead. She's sleeping.
She's like pretty much dead, and then the dude kisses her, and she comes back to life.
What do you mean pretty much dead? What happened? Opioids? She get hit by a bus? What happened to the bitch?
An old witch gave her a poison apple, and she almost died, and then the dude kissed her, and then she survived.
So, and she's complaining about that. Can you imagine we're having this conversation? At least when Megyn Kelly said Santa is white, which is a make-believe character, actually, there is a Santa that all started in Germany or Bavaria, whatever the fuck, and the guy was white. So, this is a fucking cartoon. So are you, Kristen. She says, don't you think that it's weird that the princess kisses Snow White without her permission? Because you cannot kiss someone if they're not sleeping, she told the magazine. Says you. Apparently you never belonged to a sorority or fraternity. It's the only time I got a smooch when a girl was face down in a puddle of her own puke. Give her a nice smooch and it tastes like Heineken and hot dogs. Can you believe this? She says, every time we close Snow White, I look at my girls and ask, don't you think it's weird that Snow White didn't ask the old witch why she needed to eat the apple or where she got that apple? I say, I would never take food from a stranger, would you? And my kids are like, no. And I'm like, okay, I'm doing something right. Yeah, well, how about tell your kids about all the starving kids in Africa that are starving and they take food from strangers. We fly it over there. Is there somebody inspecting each bowl of mush we send to these kids? Do you believe this fucking broad? So kissing, it's a cartoon. The prince kissed the broad who was sleeping. Actually saves her, and she's still bitching, number one. She doesn't tell her kids that part. That a man could actually help you out. Maybe she had a piece of apple stuck in her trachea, and he sucked it out. You ever think of that? You ever think of that, Mike? Look, at the prettier, the dumber. No shit. Look, he's going right in for the move there, right on the lips. That's like Jackie Aprile. I got to do a Sopranos reference for Vince. It's like when Jackie Aprile was at a frat party and Meadow Soprano was passed out, and he's looking down her shirt and... unfucking believable. She's not the only actress who questions Disney's movies. Keira Knightley, another fucking genius, recently told Ellen DeGeneres, a very healthy man, that her 3-year-old daughter, Edie, is banned from watching Cinderella and the Little Mermaid. The 33-year-old actress said the 1950s Cinderella character waits around for a rich guy to rescue her. Don't. Rescue yourself, obviously. Yeah, like you didn't blow a few directors to get where you were. Please. And when it came to The Little Mermaid, Knightley questioned the film's message about relying on a Prince Charming. No, go find a nice manly woman with thick ankles and politically connected. And she says, and this is the one I'm quite annoyed about because I really like the film, but Little Mermaid, she says, I mean, the songs are great, but do not give your voice up for a man. Hello. She's talking to her kids. She's already got them hating men by the time they're in first grade. And this is how this is how people like this come into play.
My vagina's angry. It is. It's pissed off.
You're fucking crazy.
And now we have a generation. You wonder how the feminist movement evolved into this man-hating machine. You got these fucking actresses. Just, you know. Getting it. Can the kids enjoy the cartoon like millions of generations of young girls? Do you ever stop politicizing your shit? Do you ever put your pussy aside and your feminist message for a second and let your kids grow up and enjoy shit? Just fucking indoctrination. And it doesn't happen on the fucking right. Let's go to John in New Jersey. John, welcome to the show.
Hey, Nick, how are you?
What's happening?
I want to find out whatever happened to the girl from the comedy club that hit you.
Well, she has another hearing in the middle of November, and then I can give you an update. But I haven't forgot about her.
Okay.
I'm in touch.
In retrospect, do you think you should have stalked her?
No, because we live in a time and a place. This is probably her dad, by the way, calling it.
It's not her. I'm your fan, dude.
I don't know. Hey, I don't. Yeah. Hold on. I'm your fan, dude. That was her dad's last words before I was sucker punched by her daughter. He distracted me, but yeah. No, I haven't forgot about her, and some way I will get. I wouldn't. If I look, we live in a world. If I socked her, hashtag Me Too fucking movement world. If I socked her back, I would have went to fucking jail in 2 days. I went to jail, period, because that's the world we live in. And none of these fucking, that's just the world we live in. And a few years ago, like I said, if I was drinking, I probably would have. And if somebody tries it again, like I said, I don't care if it's a girl in a stroller, I'll kick her head off her fucking shoulders. Thank you for the call, Johnny boy. Appreciate it. Anyways. Because you're not going to win if you're a guy today. Although everybody, I'm so surprised at how many people said that. Even Rogan, I would have leg whipped her. He was fucking dead serious. And all my, almost everybody, men, women alike. You should have hit her. Oh, yeah, okay. And then I'm in fucking, I do a couple nights in jail and I fucking lose my house or whatever. But you know what? What did Bush say? Fool me once. Shame on you. Fool me twice. I'll fucking blind you. Well, I'll dry gulch you.
I got a super chat for you, Nick.
Super chat. Let it fly.
Let's see. Will Miller, $5. Kristen Bell is stupid. She does realize that the dude had to kiss her to save her life, right? Do you need consent from mouth to mouth too? Jesus Christ.
Yeah, that's the point I made. Exactly. If somebody's unconscious, exactly. You're going to save their fucking life. And you know what? It's a great point. If you did save a woman today, they probably would. They'd be on the next day with Gloria Allred saying, I was unconscious on the beach and I woke up and this guy was making me breathe. I did not give him permission. Though, then again, in this world, the guy would probably try to finger pop her as he's giving her the fucking clearing the windpipe of calcified Manigot. That was actually a line in the script from Stickman. One more story before we call it a week. And listen to this headline. Drake University expelled male student after female allegedly admitted to sexually assaulting him. Did you hear that? Did you hear what I said? She sexually assaulted him and admitted to it. Drake University now facing a court battle over their investigation into an alleged incident in which Thomas Rossley Jr. and unnamed female both accused each other of sexual assault. The unnamed female admitted to performing oral sex on Rossley Jr. without his consent. This is sort of like the Snow White story. Is it Snow White? Apparently he ate a bad cannoli. How do you perform? First of all, I'm sorry. I'm not buying there's a guy out there who needs consent to get blown. If I'm in the right mode and I spilled, hamburger juice in my lap and my dog comes over, I'm not going to stop the dog. No consent needed. Just finish up there, Daisy. Despite the Drake University, listen to this. She performed oral sex on without his consent. Despite this, what do you need, a note for a blowjob now? My mother says you can suck my dick. There you go, Jen. Despite this, Drake University never investigated that portion of the incident. He was ultimately expelled from the university. Rossley Jr., who has ADHD, dyslexia, and word retrieval issues, it must have been a hell of a blowjob, requested assistance at the hearing that took place after the investigation. However, Rossley Jr. was not provided with assistance and made to fend for himself during a 9-hour hearing. That's what goes on.
No, they're ignorant. That's ignorant.
That's what goes on in college campuses. You hear about hashtag Me Too. Guys are railroaded all the time. And again, Obama tweaked Title IX. I'm not going to explain Title IX again. Look it up. But he tweaked it. These guys who get accused of this shit have to go in front of a kangaroo court with nobody to represent them for hours. It is unfucking believable. Plus, he has all those issues, word retrieval issues. Rossley Jr.'s father, Tom, was fired from his position on the Drake University Board of Trustees after he argued that his son was being treated unfairly. Rossley Sr. then sued, alleging Title IX retaliation. A judge threw out the lawsuit over the summer, arguing that Rossley's position on the board was not covered under Title IX. Rossley Jr. claims that the university officials told him that it would be seen as retaliatory if he filed a complaint against his accuser. Yeah. The implication is that officials told Rossley Jr. that the only reason he might file a complaint would be if he committed an assault and was looking to cover it up. What? How's that logic work? How the fuck do you get there? So that means by him filing a counterclaim means he's definitely guilty of doing something too? You made that conclusion on your own? That wouldn't even stand up in Judge Judy's fucking Joe Brown and whatnot. Last week, the court decided that the portion of the case that focuses on Drake's failure to investigate the accusations made against the unnamed female can proceed to a new trial. I'm just telling you, college-age guys, I've said it before, and I'll say it again. Just get hookers. Just get fucking hookers. Pay them to leave. I'm dead fucking serious. Even then, you're not safe. They come back with some bullshit. Or tell the girl you're going to have sex with it has to be on film. You got to wear body cams, dick and ball cams, snatch cams. That is the only way. I brought that up on Red Eye 5 years ago, and Gutfeld said that is fucking brilliant. I mean, who doesn't want to film it anyways? Half these guys have holes drilled in their, in their walls, in the closet, and the guys in there with a... But that's the only way you're going to clear yourself of false rape charges, a year down the line. Make sure and have her sign something saying, yes, we can film this. That's the best use of a body cam you'll ever hear. That is it for the week, folks. You guys have been great. People are still signing up. It's blowing up on YouTube. And I don't have to sell weed anymore during the daytime, so I'm very happy about that. Thank you so much. And thanks to the great Vince Curatola. That was our first Skype thing. He did quite well, by the way. And I love that his family, it was like me. I need all the help I can get with the twinks and the setting up of the tech shit. And he was our first Skype guy. We thank him so much. Go out and see him when he's performing, because he can sing and talk to him after. He's one cool dude. That is it. You guys think it. I will say it. See you on Monday. Wash those asses. Bye-bye, everybody.